First shot of single stage, 3 coats, plus the epoxy sealer, laid on really nice. Pretty happy with it. And underneath, all shiny and happy. This turned out really well. Evacuated a lot of the overspray pretty quickly. Under hood. All in all, not too bad. Couple little dust nips here and there in some parts, but overall, I think we're good for first run of the booth, first run of an actual color. So tomorrow, I'm gonna leave the booth out. I have inner fenders and a couple other little small pieces to hang and shoot. And then we should be done with the single stage. And then unmask the body and remask all this stuff. And start with a base coat, clear coat. Ready for the first series of painting for the base coat and clear coat here. I'm going to do the body, the bottom of the deck lid, and the top of the hood. It's a two-tone black and white. I'll be doing this over the next 2 days. It's about 8 in the morning here. So I've got to wipe the body down with a water-based wax and grease remover, and then let that dry for about 45 minutes to an hour. The epoxy here I have to mix up. It's going to be the sealer coat, mixing 1 to 1 to 1. So one coat that goes on like the first stage of a base coat. That goes on and it needs about 30 minutes to induce before it gets sprayed. And then once that's laid down, I've got a 2-hour wait time for it to dry off. And then once that happens, I'll be able to lay down 3 coats of the white base coat. About 30 minutes or so flash time between those at our current temperature. And then I'm going to induce that with a little bit of activator. And then after that, I got to let it sit for minimum 4 hours, probably 5, so I can tape it. And then I will tape off the stripe lines, the whole top. In the back section, it's going white. And then once the car is taped off, then I'll be able to shoot the base coat black. 3 coats of that. Again, 30 minutes flash time between that, and then I'll pull the tape. That should be sometime this evening, probably right around dinner by the time everything is done. And then I'm going to leave it in the booth, with the booth running overnight. And then tomorrow morning, tack it off, check it, and then the Euro Clear. I'm going 5 coats of Euro Clear. And then let that harden up and then pull it out of the booth. So 2 days of painting for half the panels. And then I will repeat 2 days later, probably Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm taking off work and I'll do the doors and the fenders and the top of the deck lid. And hopefully here in the next 5 days, all the painting will be done. That's the plan anyway. All right, probably can't hear me, but I'm in the booth. I got 2 coats of white base coat on so far. Turning out all right. Definitely need a 3rd coat, possibly 4. Put it on nice and wet. So far, so good. All right, just finished up the 4th coat, the white base coat. Laid on like glass. I'm really happy with it. sure if the camera here is going to pick it up, but you get the idea. See all the reflections. We got rid of all the tiger stripes. Now we got to give it 4 hours to dry and then tape it off. Cross our fingers the tape doesn't pull the paint. If it does, back to square one. But overall, pretty pleased with the way it laid down. No runs, nice wet coats. Turned out pretty well. So, halfway there for today. All right, we're 2 hours post our 4th coat, and everything is dry to the touch. I did come in and do a 5th coat on the roof, the different pattern, just in case there was any residual striping. But everything is looking really, really good. Got another 2 hours to go. It's supposed to be 4 hours. This is just the base coat. No clear on this thing yet. Got another total of 4 hours on this base coat to let it dry before I'm supposed to be able to tape it. Some base coats say 30 minutes, but SBI guys said 4 hours, so we're going 4 hours. I'm not doing any inner coat, so I'm crossing my fingers a little bit. It's the thing that's worrying me today is if we're going to lift any white paint when we pull the tape. So with a little bit of luck, we'll be good. We'll find out by tonight after the black goes down. It's now 10 p.m. at night. I just pulled the tape. Everything, all the tape came off. None of the white came off. So, turned out perfect. Really, really pleased. Started at 8 in the morning. It's 10 p.m. now. 1 coat of sealer, 4 coats of white, and on the top I did a 5th coat of different patterns, just in case it didn't stripe. I didn't want it to stripe. I saw a little bit of stripage on the video. And then I did 3 coats of black. And now it's ready for clear. Believe it or not, this is the base coat only. Deck lid, nice and happy. Hood, very pleased with it. I had a small sag in the epoxy sealer, but I cleaned that up after it flashed for 2 hours or dried for 2 hours, and you can't even see it now. No runs whatsoever in any of the base coats. So that's it until tomorrow. I'm going to leave the booth up, let it run overnight. Let the single stage here keep the solvents still bleed out of the paint. So by tomorrow morning we'll be in good shape. I'm going to shoot 5 coats clear and then out in the sun to bake in the UV light. Got the clear on. It's about 1:30. It's been set for about an hour. Started at 7 this morning, put 4 coats on, 4 heavy coats, and that was a gallon with everything mixed up. Overall, it laid out really nice. You can see there's just a, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's just a little bit of orange peel. Hardly anything to knock down, which is really nice. The booth, unfortunately, after I tack ragged it, There's a couple of little pieces of trash that landed right after I laid down the first coat of clear. So that's unfortunate. I may either live with it or figure out what to do with it. Everything on the black turned out really nice. If there's any trash in that, it's just little nibs that can easily be wet sanded out. The white's a little bit more annoying, but I may, after I wet sand it, touch up and spray white on a couple little spots and just fix them if I end up really not liking it. But overall, I'm very, very pleased with how it turned out. And now I just have to do body panels, and then we'll be done with the majority of the work. Looks incredible in the sun. Man, that white is white, isn't it? Round two. We got everything set up, cleaned, prepped. Car over there is wrapped in plastic. Hood's wrapped in plastic. All the painted parts are covered, just in case. Sometimes there's a little bit of haze in the shop, and the last thing I want to do is have to do more buffing than I actually need to do. So they're all protected and wrapped. We've got the panels all spaced so we don't have any hard edges, or replaced all the covering here so I don't blow any dust up. The reason I do this is so the foam doesn't get hard. It starts cracking and throwing up dust or debris, or it starts scratching the panels if it's on the nice surface face. But we got everything set, back taped. We got to do final clean, tack rag, and then we are good to shoot the sealer. Start. All right, 5 coats of clear down. Everything turned out really nice. I had 2 little spots that the tape lifted, and I got black, a little overspray on the white, and I had to fix. Turned out no issues. Even after I pulled the masking tape off, I had a little paint line. I hit it with 800 wet sand, sanded right out, clear buried it. Turned out really nice. So very pleased. This turned out the white turned out really nice. Don't have anything in it, hardly anything in it. I got a couple little spots in the body that I'll likely fix on Friday. Shouldn't be that big of a deal to sand it with 800, hit it with a little bit of color, white color, and then hit it with 2 coats clear, and then buff and polish, and you'll never know. So overall, really, really, really happy. I've got a ton of clear on this, so we should be in good shape. Next day, I've got my panels out in the sun for all day. UV light's going to help harden the clear up. And then cut and buff. Paint and body is finally done. Got the garage all cleaned up, back together. All kinds of stuff in here at the moment. But now I am doing the cut and polish, which is basically sand all the orange peel out of the paint and polish it back up so it's looking like glass. So I wanted to show a little bit difference here. So the top reflection is uncut. The front half is 4,000, and then you could, I don't know if you can see on camera, but as you cut over, this is the back section here is 1,000 grit. Front is 4,000. It's kind of cool. You can see the difference in the sheen as it gets cut down and then brought back up. So I've got a DA sander. I hand sand some of it where I need to. The tape, obviously I want to keep it away from the edges so I'm not burning through and accidentally hitting the drip rail or something like that. And it also gives me guide areas of where I'm working. I'll take the tape and I'll move it back about 2 or 3 inches and do the back section. So other things, what do we got going here? You can see all the hook and loop with an interpad for the DA here. You got to make sure you're getting it a little bit wet. And you got to turn the air pressure way down. It only likes about, I think, 30 to 40 psi at the DA sander. Cart, yeah, old cart sitting here. I put pedal extensions on it for my oldest for summer, so she'll go rip around on it a little bit. Always like my sticker there in the back. Let's see what else. I've got a polisher here and some stainless polishing kit that I bought online. We'll see how that works. Found out the other day that the stainless, you cannot triple plate chrome. Did not know that, so I'll be polishing it instead of chroming the stainless trim. More cut and buff stuff. I like the 3M products, the Perfect It. That's what I learned on. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Makes it nice and easy. The color of the top coordinates with the foam pad. If it's really rough, I also have wool pads. I used to start only with wool, but I'm going to try the little Tougher foam this time. Keep away from the edge and hopefully not burn through. The Makita, that's my polisher for years and years and years. Works pretty well, at least on other cars. Chassis cleaned up, starting to go back together. I got the brake lines on it, the fuel lines. I went and polished the fuel lines up, polished the clips on the brake lines, redid the e-brake cables, put the tank in, just starting to put it back together. Motor sitting over here, unwrapped, ready to go. It needs to be attached to the transmission and then stuck in this thing. So I think that's one of these days I'm going to get to it and get the crate out of the way so I can move this thing around easier. Right now I'm wanting to get the body cut and buff and polished out before I drop the body on the chassis. It's just easier to rotate it here on the rotisserie to get the roof and the panels and move it up and down without the chassis on it. I'll move the Cobra out of the way and I'll come in here and do all the body panels one at a time in the center on the sawhorses. And then the panels will go in the basement until they're ready to go on permanently. Other interesting things, changed the wheels on the Cobra. I had these sitting in the basement for the last 4 or 5 years. 17s, something different for the summer. They are slicks. They're Hoosier R1 or R7s, I believe. They are 7. Yeah, Hoosier R7. Technically not street legal, but they work just fine on the street. Makes it a little fun. You just can't have to avoid damp areas or the back end will come around on you pretty quick. And that's about it for the moment. I'll cut and buff the exterior. I've got to do some cleanup on the firewall and the dash, polish it out and make sure it's looking good. And yeah, that's it for this update. Update on the cut and polish. I learned that the 800 was a little aggressive, so I've switched to 1,000 it's on the soft pad and 1,500 as a starting, and then from there 800 is a leave-in. The sanding scratch is a little heavy, but I got the body done. I've got the hood and the trunk done, polished out really nice. That third step with a 3M Perfect It really makes it look like glass. It's silky smooth. Got the doors here, sanded down. This is 3,000. I've got one more pass at 4,000 to go. And then I'll start compounding. But it's getting there. After this, I've got the fenders, and then that's it. Oh, firewall. Clean that up a little bit. Dash, clean it up as well. And then we'll be in good shape. Ready to start with the stainless steel polishing. Got a polisher. Got a little stainless steel polishing kit. So we'll see how this goes. Never polished before, so a couple of YouTube videos and I should be able to figure it out. And then it all goes back together. So it is progressing. All right, just finished the doors here. See the reflection. It's just perfect. Now onto the fenders. And then it's time to polish some stainless.